With that, ladies and gentlemen, the next topic of discussion is the danger of EMF and the benefits of PEMF. And the session will be taken by Mr. Niki Zach. He's here with us. So if you can just, give it up for the gentleman and let's just have the discussion.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Good to see a lot of familiar faces again, some new faces. You might have seen me around on the lawn for the past few days. My name is Niki Zach. Today I'm going to be talking about PEMF and EMFs. First of all, thank you all for staying until now. I know it's been a long day. I will try to get through this in an interesting and in a quick but very understanding fashion. All right, I will start with myself. My name is Niki Zach. I'm born in Austria, and I have 28 years of experience with PEMF devices. PEMF devices are pulsating electromagnetic field therapy devices. Okay, we're going to hop more into this later, but I want to let you know why I have 28 years of experience. I'm 28 years old. I was fortunate enough that when I was born, I was introduced to somebody who was very proficient with PEMF devices. That somebody was my father. So since I was a baby, I've been using these devices. Okay, we're going to talk about a topic today that I think is very important because it affects every single one of us in our everyday lives. We're always surrounded by magnetic fields, so we need to figure out what they really are and how they affect our bodies. The topic is going to be the dual nature of electromagnetic fields, okay? The harmful EMFs and the benefits of PEMFs. All right, I'm going to show you in this next slide a few pictures, and I want you to take a look at them. When we look at these pictures, the first thing we notice, many of us were into health, we're into wellness, we're aware of what some of these items can do. But for somebody else looking at these pictures, they might say, well, these are everyday devices that I use that make my life a lot easier. Right? Cell phones, Wi-Fi, computers. We use these every day. Cell phone almost every hour. Every minute sometimes we're checking our phone if we're expecting a message or a call from somebody important. All right? All these devices, we're surrounded by them every single day. Besides the commonality that they have, that they make our life easier, the other thing that they are is they're a common source of EMF radiation, okay? EMF radiation, electromagnetic field radiation, surrounded by these, affecting our bodies. We need to distinguish between two types of EMF radiation. Here we can see how we really are surrounded. Doesn't matter where we are, even when it comes to our health, we're surrounded, and cellular devices. The two types of EMFs we have are non-ionizing and ionizing EMFs. The difference between these, non-ionizing EMFs, mobile phones, Wi-Fi routers, telephone lines, 5G, these are EMFs that if we're exposed to them for a short term, they won't have that dramatic effects on our body. Versus X-rays and UVs, if any of you guys have ever done X-rays, you notice the doctor leaves the room, and you also get a shield to protect yourself from any extra exposure. These are ionizings. These can edit your DNA, and they can really affect your cells. The non-ionizing, we say that they're not as harmful as the ionizing on short term, if you grab your phone for a minute a day and you put it down, or if you keep it away from you. But most of the ones that are non-ionizing are EMFs that we're surrounded by the whole day. You're always next to your phone. You're always surrounded by Wi-Fi routers, telephone lines, and now with 5G as well. 5G doesn't go that far, so there's many routers placed very close to us. Okay? The potential negative effects of being surrounded by these EMFs, all right? One of the ones that we see a lot with the younger generation and with kids nowadays is brain and nervous issues. We can notice, especially with younger generations, but also with older generations, we lose focus more easy. Okay, we cannot keep our attention on something, we lose memory faster because we're damaging our brain cells surrounded by these EMFs. Fertility issues, this is a big one. The reason fertility issues is so common, and I'm making the mistake right now, is everybody has their phone in their pocket. Their phone in their pocket next to your reproduction organs is not a good idea. Imagine that you have a lighter and you're holding it next to a piece of paper. You don't have to hold it very close, but after a while, that piece of paper is going to burn if you keep the lighter there long enough. If we're keeping our phone in our pockets the whole time, eventually it's going to burn the cells and we're going to have trouble with fertility issues. Also, sleep disorder, okay? I could go around the room here asking everybody how many of you actually get a good night's sleep. How many of you sleep and wake up feeling rested? Some of us sleep for a very long time because our bodies, our muscles are tired, but you wake up the next morning and you still feel tired because your brain is not getting into deep sleep, which is the stage 4 of sleep, because you're surrounded by these fast-moving frequencies. So even if you think, okay, well, I keep my phone away from me in bed, I don't charge anything in my room, you still have Wi-Fi routers from you, from your neighbors, the telephone poles outside. These high-moving frequencies are preventing you from getting into deep sleep, from getting your brain waves down to a lower level. Next thing we have is weakened immune system. We're going to touch back on this a little bit later when we go into the scientifics of the cells, but again, coming back to this frying idea, if we're so constantly surrounded by these EMFs, we're frying our cells in our body, which the less healthy cells we have, the less power we have to fight back to any kind of problems in our body, which leads to diseases. So again, we'll come back to this later. And then the last thing is headache. Headache can be caused from many different things, but EMFs is one of the big ones, again, all related to the frequencies in our head. Okay, we're going to watch a short little video right here that is going to sum up EMFs, and it's going to lead us to our next topic. So we're going to leave from the harmful EMFs, and we're going to start talking about what is PEMF. Oh, dip, volume. Sound? Well, I can read it for you, and so I guess
charged particles create fields. These fields, depending on their frequency and intensity, can be harmful for the cells. Many high-frequency EMFs cause radiation damage to the cells. 5G, or fifth-generation technology, refers to the latest trend in wireless systems, involving larger channels, higher speeds, and the ability to connect a host of devices from one location. New 5G networks generate radio frequency radiation that can damage DNA and lead to cancer, cause oxidative damage that can cause premature aging, disrupt cell metabolism, and potentially lead to other diseases through the generation of stress proteins. Pulsating electromagnetic field therapy uses frequencies that balance the ion concentration of your cells to protect them against EMFs, including 5G. 5G cannot damage your cells if they are healthy and protected. Imagine creating a shield for your cells. This is exactly what PEMF therapy does.
Okay, so we saw there a little summary of what I explained with the EMFs and an introduction to PEMF. So what is PEMF? PEMF, if our bodies can get damaged by these EMFs, we figured if those can change our cellular function, there has to be a way we can use this technology and reverse it to heal our bodies. Okay? So with PEMF, we're basically using what's already happening in our body, the electrical circuits moving around in our body, but we're just finding the right frequencies to start healing processes. Okay? PEMF therapy is non-invasive, meaning most PEMF devices you'll be laying on a mat, the magnetic field will go through your body, it's not absorbed into your body, it's basically passing through your body, activating your cells. The difference between EMF and PEMF is the pulsating. The pulsating effect is what mimics the effects of the Earth and the natural PEMF from the Earth. If you all know, the Earth has its own magnetic field, the magnetic field that has been weakening over the years. And more people are going less outside, we're not putting our feet on the ground anymore, we're living in high-rise buildings, we're further away from this magnetic field therapy from the Earth. So our body is weakening while getting exposed to all these new EMFs. Okay, we'll watch one more video here about the frequencies.
Whether you realize it or not, frequency and vibration hold an extremely important yet hidden power that affects our lives, our mental and physical health, and our consciousness. Everything has a range of frequency, including every organ and cell in our bodies. Scientific research has shown that our cells resonate with and respond to different frequencies. Nikola Tesla stated, "The brain and the earth itself work on the same frequencies. If we can control that resonant system electronically, we can directly control the entire mental system of humankind." Interestingly enough, the application of certain frequencies by frequency-generating devices can enhance cellular resonance and cellular metabolic and electrical functions. And it has been discovered that healthy tissues have more structured water than unhealthy tissues. Clinicians who recognize this fact have found that certain types of music, frequency generators, and chanting can improve water structuring in the tissues and health when they are correctly utilized. In fact, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, or PEMF, has become a popular method of treatment for many physical ailments. So what is PEMF? This is a process that involves directing powerful pulsed energy waves towards damaged or injured areas of a patient's body. Although rarely talked about mainstream, NASA recognizes this type of therapy as well. In a NASA paper entitled Physiological and Molecular Electromagnetic Fields on Human Neuron Cells, written by Thomas J. Goodwin, PhD.
Okay, a little summary there from the frequencies. Now we will head into the scientific part, the science behind how does PEMF work and the science behind how does EMF work. On the left here, we can see what the healthy cell looks like. We have a strong cell wall. We see it's very good. And then over here in the pictures, we can see how the cells are nice and separated versus the sick cell that are more clustered, that are more together. And we can see here as well the cell wall is more damaged. I like to compare, we have a protein on our cell membrane called the sodium-potassium pump. When this protein starts to get damaged, the cell cannot intake oxygen and nutrients and cannot dispose of the waste products. Okay? What we do with magnetic field therapy, and we'll come back to this protein later in a different slide, what we do with magnetic field therapy is we activate this protein on the cell membrane, the sodium-potassium pump, to allow the intake of oxygen and nutrients into the cell, and at the same time we pump out all of the toxins from the cell. We can see here the magnetic field frequency coming in, and also what I want to take a look at is the charges here on the cell. We can see the inside of the cell is negatively charged, and the outside is positively charged. Okay? This is very important because we want to make sure that the cell on the inside, with all our cells, is consistent with the correct charge. Here we can see here, this is the protein that I was talking about, the sodium-potassium pump. We pump in the nutrients, the oxygen, and we pump out the toxins. I like to compare this protein to a snorkel. If you're swimming in the water, if you're underwater, you have a snorkel to get oxygen. If that snorkel starts to close off, you get less and less oxygen into your body. If the snorkel is completely closed, you won't be able to breathe anymore. Same thing with your cell. If this protein isn't working properly, the cell will not be able to breathe anymore. Let's come back to the charges. We can see here again, the inside of the cell wall has a negative charge and the outside a positive charge. The reason this is important, if you've ever played around with magnets, if you have one cell that is negatively charged and the other cell that is positively charged, and you stick them together, they will stick. A positive and a negative from a magnet will stick together. But if you take two positive sides, they will repel each other. Okay? If our cells, especially our red blood cells, if we have a positive and negative charge and they start to stick together, they start to cluster. Okay? We call this the Rayleigh effect, when your red blood cells start to stick together. What we do with PEMF therapy is we make sure that all the charges on the cell are on the outside positive so that they will repel each other. They will break up. The red blood cells will be able to move individually into smaller areas, into arteries, through your veins. This is called microcirculation. The Rayleigh effect is when the red blood cells clump together and they form this, it looks like a roll of coins that won't be able to access many parts of your body. This is what creates poor blood circulation. And this happens because of these EMFs that are changing the charges in our cell. That's why our cells start to clump together. Here we can see, this is pre-PEMF. You can see all the cells are clustered together. We have a few that are stuck together, 2, sometimes 3, and it's endless. They can keep, as long as they find a charge that is the opposite of what they have, they can keep stacking up on top of each other. After PEMF, when we charge all the cells properly, they repel each other. Each cell is moving around freely. That's why after, if some of you have already taken the PEMF session, you might feel a little bit of warmth or a little bit of tingling. This is nothing that is coming from the mat, it's coming from your body. The warmth is your own blood circulation increasing. The tingling is coming because these blood cells are going to parts of your body where maybe they haven't been going that often because they've been clustered together. But now that the red blood cells are individual, they're able to go to these small areas as well. We'll finish up with one last video after we can see the benefits here. Pain reduction, improved circulation, accelerated bone healing, reduced inflammation, enhanced muscle function, improved sleep. Some of you that have already tried the mat, we've been here the last 2 days, you might have noticed last night you've slept better. Stress reduction, increased cellular energy, enhanced nerve repair, immune system support. Detoxification is another big one. That's what we were talking about with the cell getting rid of the toxins. Wound healing, benefits for depression and regulation of blood pressure. Of course, there's more. One of the big ones that we talked about is getting really the oxygen into the cells, keeping the cells healthy, that they can bring more oxygen to different parts of your body. Now we will watch this video that will summarize everything.
The benefits of pulsating electromagnetic field therapy on your immune system. Increased oxygenation of the cells. The cells in our bodies require oxygen to produce heat and energy. After our lungs extract the oxygen from the air, the arteries carry it in the blood back to the bodily organs. PEMF therapy aids this process by helping individual cells absorb oxygen better. Reduced inflammation. Inflammation is the result of the body trying to repair damaged cells by increasing blood flow to diseased or injured tissues. While this is generally a beneficial process for the body, persistent and chronic inflammation can generate pain. PEMF treatment is known to reduce chronic inflammation and ease pain. It can be especially useful in the case of chronic inflammatory diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, and tendinitis. It has also been shown to improve bone regeneration in patients suffering from bone-destroying diseases such as osteoporosis, osteopenia, and arthritis. PEMF improves sleep. PEMF therapy stimulates the pituitary gland to produce the human growth hormone, HGH, and melatonin. HGH helps with cell reproduction and regeneration, and melatonin is a key hormone in promoting healthy sleep and anti-aging. PEMF also helps with neurological disorders. PEMF stimulates neurons and brain cells to regenerate and return to normal function. This helps it treat diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, depression, and phobias. Countering harmful EMFs, Wi-Fi routers, and 5G. We are surrounded by power frequencies and wireless radio frequency telecommunication devices 24/7. These frequencies have detrimental effects on our sleep patterns and our cells' power generating capacity. PEMF therapy devices block out these harmful EMFs, making them relatively harmless. One 30-minute treatment of pulsating electromagnetic field therapy a day is all you need.
All right. So the nice thing about PEMF therapy is it is a non-invasive therapy, meaning anybody can use it. Only a few contradictions that we have is pacemaker, electrical implants, and pregnancy. But you can see here it's very simple to use. Laying on, you can wear your clothes, it goes through your body, it goes through your cells. Okay? Yes. There's the frequency and the intensity, yes. So the way that it works is if we look at the frequencies, we use low magnetic field frequencies for vasodilation, meaning bringing blood to certain areas, increasing the blood circulation. If you have an acute injury, we use high frequencies for vasoconstricting. So to make sure that we don't get a swelling in certain parts of the body. For inflammation, we use higher frequencies. For blood circulation, increased blood circulation, better sleep, relaxation, we use low frequencies. You asked me the question to know, okay, which frequency should I use? Do I have to consult a doctor or this? Many times, people who make these devices, and we are manufacturers of PEMF devices, what they will provide you with is a booklet that will tell you, for example, if you have arthritis, use this program. This is the correct program to use for this. If you have bone density problems, bone healing, wound healing, use these programs. Diabetes, you can use this program. Acute injury for this program, tennis elbow. So most of them will come with a booklet that will tell you which program to use for which situation. You don't need any supervision, no. No, you can push a button, you can lay on it, and you can just relax on it. And most of the time, the treatments will be around 30 minutes. The device that we have here, this is the one that is out there in the lawn. You push a button, you leave it for 30 minutes, you lay down. After 30 minutes, the magnetic field therapy continues working in your body for the next 6 to 8 hours. Okay, it is very important to drink a lot of water before and after taking one of these sessions because your body detoxifies. And as we know, the toxins come out of our body through our urine, through our stools, through our sweat. So you want to make sure you drink enough water that you don't get dehydrated. If you're a very toxic person, if you're a very sick person and you start with a high frequency, your body might detoxify too fast. So it's nothing bad. You might feel a little bit lightheaded, or what people have said if they've tried to use a high frequency and they're very toxic is that their pee has been really dark yellow, almost brown, that they've had their stool has been diarrhea, almost green-like, and that their sweat has been very smelly. But besides that, there's no side effects. That's a good question, yeah. So what you always want to look at when you... what's that? Yeah. What you always want to look at when you're looking at PEMF devices, if you can find some online, see if they give you out their information, the technical data, that show you the range of frequencies they have and the range of intensity they have. Our machine goes from 1 to 100 Gauss and from 1 to 15,000 Hertz. So we have a very wide range of frequency and a wide range of intensity. Because we go so high with the frequency, we want to make sure we can go high with the intensity, because the higher you go with the frequency, the less distance the magnetic field therapy will go. So you want to make sure that if it has a high frequency, you also have a high intensity. And so you always want to see if you can find the technical data of any of these devices. Okay?
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
all,
much. Everybody, please give it up for Mr. Zach.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.